There is a moment in every entrepreneur's journey where you realize that you have been doing something the hard way for way too long. For me, that moment came at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night when I've been up since 5 a.m., staring at my laptop screen, trying to write content that didn't sound like it came from a robot. See, I've been using AI tools for months now, spending more time editing their responses than I would have taken me just to write from scratch. And I was frustrated, exhausted, and starting to think that maybe AI just wasn't for people like me who actually cared about authentic, branded communications where everything was cohesive. When I communicate with you. But then I discovered something that changed everything, and I mean everything. I've been studying YouTube videos every chance I could for hours to figure out how to create better content out of AI. I knew it was possible. So today I want to share with you the single tool that has transformed not only my content creation process, but my entire approach to building a professional presence online. It's something I call a content master prompt. And if you've ever felt like you're starting from scratch every single time you create content, this conversation is going to change your life. Just saying, it has mine for sure. Welcome to Just a Point of View. I'm Denise Reed, your host, and this is the story of how I went from content creation chaos to having AI that actually sounds like me for a change. So let me paint a picture that might sound familiar. You sit down to write a podcast script and you're staring at a blank screen. You know what you want to say, but translating your expertise into engaging content feels like climbing a mountain every single time. Maybe you've tried using AI tools like ChatGPT or Claude, but the responses come back sounding like they are written by a corporate robot. Generic, bland, overly technical, to a broad audience versus the people that are your raving fans. Nothing like your authentic voice or tone. See, your backstory, your personality is just not there yet. For months, I was spending more time editing AI responses than it would have taken me to write from scratch. And I knew these AI tools had potential, but I couldn't crack the code on making them sound like me. I was always having to fill in the personality gaps. And then I discovered something that changed everything. The concept of a content master prompt. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. Still am so excited about this. Think of it as your digital DNA, a comprehensive document that captures your backstory, your voice, your business history, your preferences. It can even include your logos, your colors for your brand, all the things. So instead of reintroducing myself to AI platforms every single time, I upload this master prompt once in the prompt, and suddenly AI gets me from the start. It's like having a new team member who's already reading my entire employee handbook, knows my company culture, and understands exactly how I want things done. See, Let me tell you how this has transformed my podcast content development specifically. This doesn't even touch all the other writing I do for my business, like social posts, press releases, blog posts, webpage content, and the list goes on. So before the master, or should I say, before the content master prompt, I spent hours outlining episodes, second guessing my talking points, and struggling to maintain consistency in my messaging across episodes. And after implementing my content master prompt, well, I can now generate episode outlines, talking points, and even full scripts that sound authentically like me in a fraction of the time. For this very episode, I used my content master prompt to help me organize my thoughts and ensure I was hitting all the key points that you need to hear. The AI now understands my conversational style, my tendency to use analogies, and my focus on practical, actionable advice. It now has the online links to business leaders I follow online, so I can reference their content. It's fabulous. But here's what really blew my mind: the consistency. Every piece of content now feels connected, like it's all coming from the same strategic mind and my professional personal brand. Because it is. It's coming from my mind, just amplified and researched and verified with citations if it needs to be through AI. So here we go. The beauty of a content master prompt extends far beyond just podcast scripts. Let me break down how this one tool has transformed my entire content ecosystem. Let's go down the path of podcast and video scripts. It generates episode outlines that match my natural flow and speaking style. It creates talking points that feel conversation, not scripted. That's the best part. And it maintains consistency in messaging across all episodes. And it helps me stay on brand while exploring new topics. And it reduces prep time by 60 to 70%. I promise. All right, for social media posts, like LinkedIn posts that sound professional but approachable, exactly on point for my brand. It creates Instagram captions that capture my slightly sarcastic, always helpful personality, and Twitter posts, or should I say X posts, that are punchy but still educational, and Facebook content that feels warm and community focused. All these platforms maintain voice and tone consistency while adapting to platform norms. All right, let's move on to even blog posts and articles. I am now using it, I should say, my content master prompt for long form content that maintains engagement, I should say, throughout. There is consistent use of my preferred analogies and examples. It offers proper balance of expertise and accessibility. It's SEO optimized content that doesn't sacrifice authenticity. And it helps me create series that have multiple part contents that flow seamlessly. Now, if I was email marketing, which I have in the past, it could help me create newsletter content that feels like a conversation with a trusted colleague. It could help me with email sequences that maintain personality while driving action. It could help me with subject lines that reflect my voice and increase open rates. And even follow-up emails that feel personal, not automated. So this is why creating your master prompt, your content master prompt, can be so effective. Here's where this gets really powerful for your professional presence, your brand. When your content, your podcast, your social posts, your blog articles, your emails all sound consistently like you, something magical happens. People start recognizing your voice before they even see your name. They begin to trust your expertise because your messaging is consistent across every digital touchpoint. You become known for your unique perspective and approach because it's your uniqueness that comes together. This isn't just about efficiency. Though saving 10 to 15 hours a week on content creation, it's pretty amazing. Hey, just saying. It's about building a professional presence that's authentically you, amplified and consistent across every platform. Your audience deserves to experience the real you, whether they discover you through a podcast episode, a LinkedIn article, or an Instagram post. The Content Master Prompt ensures your fans, your tribe, get that authentic vibe every single time. All right, here's some ripple effects. Let me share some marketing impacts that you might not have considered. Brand recognition and recall. Consistent voice and tone create stronger brand recognition. People remember and share your content that feels authentically human. Your unique perspective and stories become your competitive advantage. All right, content repurposing made easy. Let's take a look at that. One podcast episode can then become blog posts, social media content, email newsletters, and the list goes on. It can maintain voice consistency across all your repurposed content. It'll maximize your return on investment on every piece of content you create. Hashtag money. All right, SEO and discoverability. Well, let's take a look at that too. Consistent terminology and language patterns improve search rankings. Authentic content gets more engagement and boosts the algorithmic reach. Long-form content creation becomes sustainable and scalable. All right, let's look at relationship building too, because we want to take that into account. Authentic voice builds deeper connections with your audience. Consistent messaging across platforms reinforces your expertise, and people feel like they really do know you, leading to stronger business relationships. All right, let's look at the thought leadership positioning that using this content master prompt could also give you. It's consistent, high quality content and establishes you as an industry expert. In fact, your unique voice becomes associated with your area of expertise. Speaking and collaboration opportunities are only going to increase the more exposure that you get through your content development. In fact, it is a time and energy factor. So let's talk about something we all struggle with: time and energy. Before my content master prompt, content creation felt like this massive energy drain. I'd sit down to write and it would take everything I had just to get started. I actually like to write. I just don't have time or someone to bounce ideas around with. Well, now my content creation has become energizing instead of exhausting. And when AI understands your voice and can help you express your ideas clearly and authentically. The creative process becomes a collaborative effort instead of a solitary funnel of please help me now. I can go down all kinds of rabbit holes of information now, and I love the exploration aspect of writing. And AI has amped up my curious streak, just saying. I'm spending less time on the mechanics of writing and more time on the strategy and details of the information that I have to offer the world. And I hope that you can see this progression as you're connecting with me here on my podcast/videocast. In fact, I hope that it becomes relationship building between us and actually serves you, my fan base, my audience. That's the kind of shift that transforms not just your content, but your entire business. All right, let's look at action steps, because you know that I am a practical problem solver and I want to help you take those tiny steps to move forward into your greatness. So here's what I want you to do after this episode of Just a Point of View. First, think about your current content creation process, if you have one, and how much time are you spending on it? How consistent is your voice across platforms? How authentic does your content feel? Working with a professional copywriter is expensive in time and money. And second, consider developing your own content master prompt. Start with the basics. Who are you? What's your professional background? How do you want to sound? What's your unique perspective on the world? In fact, I have a content master prompt blueprint for all the backstory you might want to consider. I'll put a link in my show notes. It's free for my blueprint. All right. 3, or my third point, is test it. Use your content master prompt with different AI platforms and see how it transforms your content creation process. Yes, I hear your applause now. Please keep it down. I'm not finished yet. If my content master prompt blueprint really makes a difference for you, you could buy me a cup of coffee through my website. I have a link there. I've actually created a comprehensive guide and template for developing your own content master prompt, and it is jam-packed full of great information. And I'm sharing it completely free because I believe every professional deserves to have their expertise shine authentically. Just here's my point of view on this. In a world where AI is becoming ubiquitous, the professionals will thrive who learn to use these tools to amplify your authentic voice, not replace it. Your expertise, your perspective, your unique way of solving problems, i.e., your brand, that is irreplaceable. But having a tool that helps you express that expertise consistently and efficiently across every platform and medium, that's the competitive advantage that will set you apart. The Content Master Prompt isn't just about better content. It's about building a professional presence that truly represents who you are and the value you bring to the world. So, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good day. That's just a point of view that I can live with. So, what's yours? If you want to grab my complete content master prompt guide and template, head over to denisereed.is and you'll find the link in the show notes. It's completely free, and I love to hear how it transforms your content creation process. And if you found value in this episode of Just a Point of View, please share it with someone who's struggling with content creation or trying to build their professional presence online. Sometimes the right tool at the right time can change everything. So until next time, keep building that professional presence that's authentically, powerfully you. Keep hashtag chasing happiness fiercely and come along for my journey by creating a journey of happiness of your own. Talk to you later. Bye.